What's up, y'all? I'm PC McCray. You can call me P.
Hey y'all, my name is Shaun the Head. You can call me Shaun the Head. And this is the Everything Has Changed podcast.
From 2 college roommates to 40-something adults, life has been lifing and we want to talk about it.
We are the new adults, y'all.
How did that happen?
I don't know, P, but we got to talk about it.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Let's go.
Hey, Shaun.
Hey, P.
Hey, girl. How you doing today?
I'm here.
Yes.
I'm here. You know, it's like mid-January when we're recording this, and so much has already happened in our world. Let's see. New Year's Eve, there was the terrorist attack in New Orleans. There was the guy who set his Cybertruck on fire with him inside in Vegas. And the LA fires are still going on. I can't even remember if they were happening when we recorded the last episode. They're still going on, and there's a new batch of wind coming through.
Jeez.
They said like starting today, so everyone's on high alert. It's scary times. Scary times, P. And it's all of this is like outside of our control as well. So I feel like it's sometimes hard to kind of move through things when they have almost nothing to do with you. Like there's literally nothing you can't call nobody. It's nobody, no phone call you can make. No one who can really assist until things have, I guess, really settled down. So these are strange times we're living in. What do you think? How are you feeling with everything? Does that affect you at all? Not does that affect you? That's a dumb question. But like when it's outside of your control, how do things like that affect you? I'm curious to know versus things that happen like in your household or things like that. Does it affect you any differently at all?
No, because I'm called an empath, what people call an empath. So I feel it. And while it's not immediate, the stories about these people losing their homes and lives, but let's understand what's bothering me most is, yes, we have focused on the Pacific Palisades, which are the millionaires, the celebrities.
Yeah.
Okay. There's still people and they lost their home. Like some of them may have be able to get another house. Okay. But some that has been their home and things that are in there, there's still people that have lost photo albums or just memories. And so I don't like how people are just discrediting them and their feelings because they're rich. Not to mention the Black community that was burned to the ground. And those stories have just really... Altadena.
Yes.
Oh, man. The stories have really broken my heart.
I saw a list the other day of, I think at that time, the death toll was at like 11. And everybody was Black.
Yeah.
Or Black and brown on the list that I saw. Now, the toll has risen since then, but it was interesting because the day when it first happened, people were either in shock or whatever because maybe your favorite celebrity is like posted a video of them rushing out of the door.
Yeah.
I was about to say in the dead of night, but who knows? Because when a fire is that bad, you can't really even tell if it's day or night. But then there immediately were people who just talking all kind of shit because, like you said, they're celebrities and they're assuming that they're just going to be able to rebuild. And that people, I don't know. All right, P. Come on. Listen, I have this feeling of bottled up rage, okay, that has been inside of me since November 6th, let's say.
Yeah.
If I were to pick a date.
Yes.
But my therapist and we've landed on a date.
Yes.
And so I find myself, now we're in January, I find myself to be this person now who is like always angry. Or there's always, I always got some anger to pull from if you need some. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So when I get triggered, then I just get so angry. I would like my hands will be shaking, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I found myself getting like that as I was reading comments, which you're not supposed to do, but
Mm-hmm.
I was reading comments or even just scrolling, and just, it might just be what people just post about what they've seen and the way that people are handling this whole thing with the wildfires. It's like they're lumping it in with Luigi. There's the eat the rich thing
Yes.
that we're in the middle of right now. They've attached that to the fires, even though, like you said, Altadena is gone. And that was a black town. That was a black
Mm-hmm.
neighborhood, like in middle class families. But also when people, and hey, maybe folks haven't been to California. Okay, maybe they ain't been to LA. But all that stuff is really intertwined up there, right? Unless you like in
Mm-hmm.
Beverly Hills or somewhere. Oh, if you in the hills, okay. When you get down the hill, everything is, one street might be this, and then the next street over, literally, like USC is right in the middle of or next to areas where people might not want to be at, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like things like that. It's all those kinds of things. It's very intertwined and enmeshed in LA. But really, all that doesn't even matter. They're people. Think about any regular person. Or let's just say you go and you work your whole life to get to a point.
Yep.
For some people, that point is just owning their own home. It's
Mm-hmm.
not even like, oh, I get to be the top CEO of this firm or that. It's, I've worked long and hard enough to own my own thing. Maybe we built it or probably we didn't, but my kids are here. All their stuff is here. This is
Mm-hmm.
where, I was standing here when I found out I was pregnant, and I was out front over there when such and such happened. And for it to be gone just like that, you don't know what these people are dealing with. You don't
Mm-hmm.
know what they have, don't have, and none of that even matters. You don't know. There are celebrities who are, and I'm not just pulling this out of my ass either, because this is not just like, oh, maybe this or that. There are celebrities that are taking care of sick parents,
Yeah.
and so what is they gonna do now?
Uh-huh.
Because let me tell you something. If something like that happened over here when Granny was still living and she was immobile, how
Girl.
we was gonna get out?
And
How
those
we
are
was gonna
some of
get
the
out?
stories. One man, he would not leave his son who had cerebral palsy, and they found them
Exactly.
both.
Both.
He was not going to leave his son. He couldn't lift him. And then the State Farm and other insurance companies canceling fire insurance. That's like down here in Florida with them canceling hurricane insurance.
Which should be criminal, P. And
Yeah.
because you're an insurance company.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And it's almost like, and I don't know much, but how are you allowed to operate without having, it would seem like there are certain things, even if they're not mandatory, that they would at least be available, right? To
Yeah.
those who want to add it on, let's say. But I don't understand how there are some businesses that are able to operate without having certain things as and our words ain't even coming out right now, but because I done got upset. Okay.
You're
But
upset.
how
Yes.
how are you not
Calm down.
able to, let me pull it.
Pull it back. Pull it back. Come on.
It's
Come on.
like
I know what you're trying to say.
it's like that TikTok where they going off and then they say, you know what, let me bring it
bring,
back in.
bring it back.
But
Bring it
I don't
back.
understand how there are companies out there that don't have to have certain things in order to operate.
Uh-huh.
Like a
Uh-huh.
license, right? In order to have the license, you have to offer XYZ. So now if you're telling me that there are actual insurance companies that don't have to offer types of actual insurance for the regions that people are living in,
Uh-huh.
then what are we doing with insurance then? Like, why does the
Right.
nation even need insurance?
Yeah.
But then that just brings us back to the state of things that we're in today. But I really, really was getting upset at the way people were treating, or not even treating, but talking about people who were losing everything. And then they're assuming that, oh, it'll be easy for them or whatever. But as time goes on and we hear the stories and we start to see who's being affected and not being affected, I think it's going to tell a story
Uh-huh.
that, you know what I mean? And you can't take back all the stuff you say. If you put it on the internet, people,
It's
it's
there.
there.
It's there.
Can't take that back.
Also, politicizing everything. This is not a time to politicize. With our the one that shall not be named, blaming the governor and the mayor. And sure, there's some things that went wrong that need to be investigated to see how did this happen? How could it not be contained? Because I want to say the Pacific Palisades is still burning. That area
I'll
has
tell
not
you
been.
how it happened, but you're going to call me a conspiracy theorist.
I mean, you have the tinfoil hat anyway. You kind of.
I got a couple. I put together a couple tinfoil hats over the past few months. Okay.
It's possible, but that's also something that's bothering me. But I learned, and I think as we've grown, everything has changed. I saw it during COVID. I thought for sure, okay, here's a thing that can wipe us all out. So here's a time for us to come together and get on the same page for survival's sake. And was I wrong? I mean, and not just white folks, Black folks, it just people, period. Nobody, you had the people who took it serious and the ones who didn't. And it's continued to snowball into this me against them in everything and politicizing everything. And that's what they're doing with these fires.
It was during COVID times when I realized that I just feel like the past few years in general, it's radicalized some people.
Yeah.
Something said,
Yes.
I read something that said people have been activated. Okay.
Activated.
But I definitely feel like a different person because in COVID, that's when you really started to see it is some dumb people out here.
I mean,
it's one thing to not,
Really?
but I'm not saying, because I don't agree with this or agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
But from then on, as I'm starting to go, and hey, I'm sure you should take social media breaks and all that kind of stuff. And I did. Let me preface this by saying that. But I also, my job I'm a brand strategist, right? And I'm a digital marketer. My job, I have to stay online. Right. I have to help clients be online and I have to be online to bring in clients, all these things. So I can only kind of disassociate myself so far. But when you really start to see what people are talking about, and then we went from COVID into more politics, right? Because we were trying to come out of that. And so I didn't realize that people were so, I don't even know what the word is, P. I know it's ignorant, but I don't feel like you can really fault ignorance, but so far, because that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's like, okay, I'm ignorant to something. Let me go learn about it. People don't want to learn about it. People don't want to research. People don't want to Google. Real research, but they won't even take the 10 seconds to Google to get like, okay, should I leave left? Should I leave right?
Right. And go beyond the first page on Google, folks.
Listen,
not
at least go beyond
links.
Just go beyond the AI summary at the top, you guys.
Please.
Because while we're here, like, love AI, love what it does. And also, if you're going to Google something, just read the little summary and keep it pushing to see what the pages are right below that. But people weren't even doing that. They were seeing someone say something or heard somebody say something and they just parrot it back. And it will be stuff that you could literally find out within 5 seconds if you wanted to. But people don't want to, because that is when it really came set in stone in my head that confirmation bias, not only is it a thing, it is like what's running the world right now. Whatever we want to see is what we will see, and it's what we will believe. And that's basically everybody, because even with social media, everything is run off of algorithms. So whatever you're looking up and agreeing with or liking or researching into, that's what you're going to get more of. And so then you couple that with people that may be more susceptible, that may be ignorant to things, that may not care, that don't care what the truth is. They just like, I heard this, that sounds good to me. And then if they see a second video, that's it. It's a sign. It was going on and on and on and on and on about this stuff that is actually really serious and really important. And so it's just, it's honestly sad to see. It's sad to see. It's sad how we've ended up.
We're in trouble. We're in trouble. We're in trouble when the fires, people are reacting to these fires. We're in trouble how people react to the people getting gunned down. The insurance CEO, people were cheering. Like it just, but we've lost it as a people that we're okay with somebody just shooting somebody in the back.
Well, were you upset?
Hey friends, we're just getting this podcast going and we're so thankful for your support. If you want to be updated whenever we drop a new episode or when we drop some of the special things we've got coming, head on over to everythinghachangedpodcast.com and drop us your email so you can stay locked in. Cool? Cool.
My point is, it's not okay to take somebody's life.
Yes. He did wrong. Luigi did wrong.
It's not okay because you're upset, and then we cheer that on. We cheer on that behavior, and then now other CEOs and people who are in leadership have to watch their backs because of copycats, and that's what I mean. We're getting out of control when it comes to that.
When they put Luigi on that perp walk,
well, it's a show.
But that's the other part. It's craziness the way that the world reacted to it. But it's also crazy that they decided, hey, let's put him in a helicopter, put him off at the dock, surround him with 30 people, put him in already in his bright orange suit. Like, let's do this to show force. And so it's out of a movie. That's a movie, you guys.
That's a scene.
That's not helping the situation.
That's a scene. And he's conventionally good looking.
Luigi got the riz.
You know, the riz, as the kids say.
As the kids say.
Oh, I can't take it.
It got to be so much.
And here we are a few days away from inauguration where the foolishness.
I can't even.
Okay, we can't.
I cannot.
Yep.
I can't.
Same.
Check with me after the 20th. All right. Check with me after the 20th. I can't do it today. I can't do it today.
How are you going to regulate yourself? And it's MLK Day. Like, come on, Jesus.
Today is actually Martin Luther King's birthday.
It's his birthday. Happy birthday, Dr. King. He would be so disappointed.
Right. That's the
he would
thing.
Be so disappointed.
It's not ironic. It's actually disgusting. Like, if anything, y'all should have changed that date. If anything. But yeah, no, I have to actually do things to regulate my nervous system because I'm so easily like, and again, this is actually a new thing because like you said, I'm an empath. I'm very sensitive, but the rage that has started, I keep coming back to that because it's this new thing for me and I'm trying to figure out how to deal with it. So I really have had to try to figure out ways to regulate my nervous system. And especially on the things, when things are going on that are like worldwide or nationwide and outside of your control, on top of whatever you got going on, it's like, you feel like, all right, then, God, what we doing then? What we doing? Because
what's the
point?
If
this is the world we're living in, what is the point for everything that we're trying to do in our own individual lives, you know? But I do stuff like, I take a lot of salt baths. Take a lot of salt baths. Like with Dr. Teals is my boo, okay? I love a good
shout out.
You know, I grew up. Yeah, I love me some Dr. Teals, and I grew up on Epsom salt. Mommy was big on Epsom salt, so I became big on Epsom salt. But that Dr. Teals with that extra, with that lavender, you know, they got the lavender, they got the one that the almond oil with the shea butter one. Love me some Dr. Teals. I take a lot of salt baths. I can't remember if we talked about this already, but I'm back into my artwork. Thank you to my therapist because I grew up, you know, as an artist. But it really wasn't until this year, this past year, 2024, when I realized that me being creative and doing that art was actually getting that bad or that nasty energy outside of me that created something physical. So that really helps me. You know what it was? I saw one of these coaches that I follow doodle. And it was like, oh, I didn't even know she was an artist like that. And then she's like, I'm not an artist. This is just how I relieve stress. So I'm like, well, I'm an artist. So let me see about some doodling. So I started doodling for real. It's nice. It works. So I'm
Yeah.
saying that to say anybody can do stuff like that, can doodle, or you can do your own artwork. You don't ever have to show anybody, or you can show anybody whatever you want to do. But it really does help to kind of move that energy out of your body,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't really dance anymore like I used to. I'm getting old. I got back problems. Okay, don't judge me. So I had to do all the other art kind of stuff. So and then I got back into writing, and then something else that I do that I don't know, but you probably do this as well. I'm interested to see what you say, but there's specific songs that I listen to
Mm-hmm.
that help me regulate my nervous system, and there's specific like TV that I watch.
Yes.
But it's interesting because the TV that I watch to regulate my nervous system is actually the opposite. It has to be very intense. A lot of people have to die. It has to be a lot of guns.
Because maybe it's fake. It's like, okay, the real life, I can't deal with real life, but I'm watching this Michael Bay movie and he's blowing up stuff left and
That's
right.
exactly
That's
it.
fake. We know it's fake. I get it.
call it a white boy shoot 'em up. That's
I
actually what my
understand.
mama used to call it. I love me a good army movie. What?
Just
Oh
killing
my
them, just
goodness.
shooting in the head, just gore.
Everybody got to die. It helps me to get it out of my own system. I don't want to watch nothing funny. I don't want, it's crazy because like Emily in Paris is one of my favorite shows. I've not been able to watch the last season because I've been so mad. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't care about this. So I got to go all the way to the other side. I need some intensity. But even like with music, I just feel like there's some particular artists and particular types of music and songs that really actually shift the energy in my body. And we know that there's things like, the, what do they call it? The hurt or whatever.
Word,
You know
the
what I mean?
waves.
I know you know. There we go. Sometimes I listen to that to go to sleep, but yeah, that kind of stuff I just noticed specifically changes my bad energy and at least makes it move so I can stop shaking at least. Cause boy.
Yeah.
But what about you, P? Because I know you got some good stuff because you, my friend, are very nice and calm, nice and level-headed.
Mm.
That's how I know you. I know you do the work to keep yourself.
I do the work.
In that.
And
Yeah, tell me.
it has the work has been a little bit harder to come about because of so much going on in life. And you're right. I feel it. We get into the woo-woo stuff. As a Libra, when we take it there, the balance. Yes.
You are. What's your
I
other
am.
two? Do you know?
Oh.
Your rising and moon?
Don't make me lie. I have to look
Okay,
up.
I'm sorry. I've taken us on a tangent.
This is what we
I just
do,
did
though.
not realize you were a Libra. I have a Libra
Yes.
stellium.
Yes, girl. But because of that, and even if you don't believe in astrology, because I know some of our listeners may not believe in it, but what that means is we need the balance. I do need a balance. And when I am off balance, I got to pull it back in. And so the question is music, as you stated, and just in an internal dialogue that I have to talk to myself. I talk to myself all the time. People might think that's crazy, but it's like, okay, you need to bring it down. You need to calm down. Because if I get upset internally and it literally manifests physically. I get sick. If I don't release it somehow, whether exercising, I have to go ride my bike. I have to do something to get it out. If I don't, and I let it store up and build in me, I will get sick.
Now you can't afford to get.
I cannot. The last time I did not release grief properly, ended up in the hospital for 8 days. Literally had an infection, developed an infection because of a year or more's worth of deep, deep, deep grief and sorrow and not listening to my body and pushing myself, because sometimes I push myself a little bit too hard. We do need rest. So I rest. I chill out. I've learned to say no because it's a complete sentence, because your girl was trying to do everything. I'm trying to be there for everybody and be out. Burning myself out. So those are the things I have really had to become selfish with my time. I've had to. I'm a former people pleaser. I still have that in me because I want people to be okay. I do believe it. I need that peace and harmony. I need you to be okay. But after I give you a chance and we've talked it out, or if I'm feeling a vibe, I'm going to remove myself from that situation because you're not going to upset me. You're not going to upset me. Because again, once I lose it, then I lose it.
I wish y'all could see her face right now.
I'll
That's
give
the
you
face of a woman.
the Joker smile.
Yeah. You know, that
Like
smile
I'm
says
smiling,
everything.
but behind the smile, it's like you don't want this smile
Yeah.
because I'm about to snap, and we don't want that. That's not good for anybody.
Is that scary, P? Where I know that it's scary to like end up in the hospital just from the way that has manifested out of you. So then, is it scary then? So when you go home and think about, or is there any anxiety around, like, what if that happens again, or like, what if I put myself in that situation again because of not having boundaries or because of what have you? Is there fear or is there anxiety around that at all? Is that something you now have to contend with?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it goes back to thank you to my therapist. But with mom's passing and even in her sickness, I had started that same pattern and I was starting to get sick. So what happens is I have these terrible stomach pains. Like, I mean, bent over, just I can't eat nothing, just terrible stomach pains. And so when I notice that I'm having that, okay, something's happening. And I get these marks on my hand. It's very strange, but I get like these two little bumps on the bottom of my hand when I can tell that something is about to pop off. I'm about to have a flare up.
Wow.
It's crazy. And so I have to calm myself down. I have to step back, pull back, whatever it is that I need to do, I do it. And that's what I mean about being more selfish now. I've had to pull back and isolate if that's what it requires.
Yeah. Listen, former people pleasers, stand up. Okay. Hopefully we're all former at this point or in recovery, if you will.
Recovery.
Yes.
And I think it's because how we were raised. We were raised with similar mothers that had the values of service, taking care of others. Your mom was so welcoming and open when we first met. It was like, oh, she's my mom too. Like we had that vibe. We were raised in a environment of love.
Yeah.
And we want to give that back.
There was no, okay, I know this is a weird question, but I think about this sometimes. You know how there's this thing called the mother wound?
Yes.
That in particular, women growing up have a certain issues with their moms for whatever reason, but their mom kind of takes them through it throughout childhood. And so then as they're going into being young women, they realize that their relationship with their mom has kind of hindered them maybe in certain areas. I don't know if that's a good definition of it at all. I just know it's called the mother wound. And people talk about it a lot. Women talk about it a lot. And so that was not my experience. I don't think that was your experience.
It was not. We were blessed.
We were blessed. And so, because when it comes, it's one of those things that comes up so often that it's like, whoa, then, okay, why was my experience so different? Because I know that that's a very real experience. I've seen it myself, you know, it just wasn't my experience. So then I'm like, well, then what? I guess sometimes I feel almost a little, I don't know if guilty is the word, but it's such a common experience that women have that I didn't have. And so, you know, so when a friend is like talking about this, then all I can do is sit back and listen.
That's it.
Right? Because I really can't, I don't feel like I can contribute at all. And I'm not even saying that in any kind of way. It's just my experience is totally different. So then when you just look and see how it's a whole gang of people though that had a completely different experience, it's like, well, then why did I have this other separate experience and other people couldn't have?
Blessed. And what has highlighted that for me is mom's passing and how people have responded to me during my grieving process. Those who may not have grown up with that type of love, they wouldn't understand, or they don't understand the deep heaviness of the grief of missing because of that complication with their mother. There's hurt and there's that wound there, but as far as the deep missing of that person, of that unconditional love of that person who really protected you, they don't understand that. I had someone say to me, he says, "Oh, well, she's in a better place," but she kind of said it flippantly. And I was like, "Are you very close to your mom?" And she says, "No." Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so I didn't respond, but my thought was, holler at me when you lose someone. If it's not your mother, holler at me when you lose someone who you truly, truly, deeply love, and that person just flippantly is like, "Oh, they're in a better place."
Yeah, it's hard because you don't want to judge people for what they have not had to go through yet.
Mm-hmm.
But you also have to just kind of, I guess, hold space for, I don't know, it's like a weird line to straddle,
It's tough. It's tough.
It's a weird line. It's the same with me. Like, I've had people say to me, I want my relationship with my daughter, specifically mothers. I want my relationship with my daughter to be like your relationship with your mom, because that's a relationship of a mom and daughter that I saw or that I was able to observe that I would want. And then when I became pregnant, well, when I had Tegan, because I've been pregnant a lot, but I only have one child. So when I was pregnant with her and it was clear, this is going, she's coming.
She's coming.
She's coming. Then it became, okay, so clearly I can do this without a mom, but it feels bad. It feels bad to not have, that help or that assistance, or even like the babysitting whole portion of it, or even, and it was lovely that Granny was able, like Granny was here after Tegan was born. Granny didn't pass until 2021, so Teags was 2 when Granny passed. So Granny was able to spend time with Teags and hold her and take pictures with her and everything. But most of the time, she didn't know who Teague was.
Yeah.
Like, or she'd be like, "Whose baby is this?"
Yeah.
And then she would call my little chocolate baby because my granny was very, very fair skinned. Okay.
Old school.
Okay. All right. But, girl, you should have seen her when I really started showing and stuff. Because at first, I think she just thought I was gaining more weight. She thought, the girl is big. And then I walk in her room to get her up for the day with this belly. And she's like, "No, when did that happen?" I was like, "Granny, I am 8 months."
She's
But
coming.
that kind of stuff. When it became clear she was coming, I was like, I want to do all the things with her that mommy would do with me, because we did have that relationship. So we would go to the bookstores on Saturday morning. After dance class, we would go over to Walden Books or something, and she would sit there and let me just sit there for an hour and read, because she knew we weren't buying all these books. I could pick one, and the rest I just have to sit there and read. And we would just do all these things, and I was like, I'm gonna do all these things, girl.
Yeah.
I don't know how mommy did all the things, because mommy was a single mom too, at least by the time I came along. And so it's just that's an interesting feeling too. Tegan is 5 now. She has special needs. She's nonverbal, and on the autism spectrum. And so she's in ABA now, and she also has speech and OT, but she just got this new ABA center, and I had to go up there for a meeting yesterday. They have a parent, you do like a parent meeting every month at least. And we're going through everything, all of her needs and stuff. And the therapist was like, I just love, working with you because you really know so much about her. And I'm like, I'm sorry.
That's my baby.
Do parents not know about their kids?
What do you know?
But it's a serious question though, because this is my only child.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I don't have any other experience as far as mothering. So I was a little taken aback. I'm like, I didn't know that was a thing. But she was like, yeah, it's because of the autism and communication, of course, and connection really is what it was. Connection looks different. in all these relationships with parents. And so for some parents, that means that they're not able to connect. So it hinders a lot of other things. And so it's almost like they pull away because the connection can't be maybe what they envisioned or all that other stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, I understand that completely. So then I left like, what? Okay, so then how did me and T end up with this relationship? I don't know, but then all I could bring it back to is my mom. It's like, I can only say how I was mothered. So I'm going to mother my child, for me, because I didn't have the experience that a lot of other people have. I can mother my child in the way that I was mothered and be happy about that. Right. So it's just never something I thought of, literally, until she said this yesterday.
Wow.
You know, and it was also good to hear, because when you have a family member that has certain issues or any kind of issue, really, and you have to be their advocate, you need to know certain things, or else they're not going to get what they need. And I think that's a part of it too, because having Granny for all those years before I had Tiggs showed me, like, I would get into mama bear mode quick over this 90-something-year-old lady.
Real quick.
Because she can't. And when I tell you, them people would be letting me have it.
Yes.
Because I'm older than I look. So I look younger. I talk younger just because I got this high, squeaky ass voice, you know? And so when people address you, like, initially, they come at you as if you have no idea what's going on. You don't know all these things. And time after time, they're like, I am so impressed with your knowledge. Wow. What the fuck else do you expect from a caregiver? This is my
granny.
But then who would think, and that's the thing, I call her Granny. So then that even still puts me at a lower level, let's say. You know what I mean? So, girl, I got a whole lot of that. I remember the first sitter that I had come for Granny got up in my face the first week.
No, ma'am.
And she came recommended from actually a really good friend of mine, lady I used to work with, whose mom had passed. She had sat with her mom, but come to find out they were friends. Oh. So it was fine there. She came to my house. She didn't want to we talked about how she was going to get paid. She wanted to change that up. I would come home from work. All the pictures would be turned down.
Excuse me?
Why is my mother's picture turned down? This is her house. And she's like, oh, you know, I just kind of have a thing with dead people.
Oh, no, man.
I promise you. And this lady was like, I don't know how old she was. She was at least in her 60s. Oh. And I'm like, ma'am, if you in your 60s and you got a problem with a dead lady's picture, and the picture is like a church, it's not an obituary picture or nothing. It's like the cute family picture where you all sit in the fellowship hall. She had turned all of them down. And I'm like, this dead lady house. So I don't think maybe then you should not be here. No. Like, I would come home every day and she's like, okay, I understand. I'm not going to do it again. And then I'll come home and she would have forgotten to put them back up. But she wasn't changing the bed pad or nothing for Granny. Why is this still dirty? And so that was Monday through Friday. By Friday, I'm like, here's your money for the week. Be blessed.
Good and bad.
She got up in my face.
When you let her go?
Yeah. In fact, it was before I let her go. I was just like, come look at this. Why is this here? It wasn't like an easy transition into her from, like, I guess, taking instruction from me. I don't care. I care that my grandma is safe while I'm at work. Okay? And you, lady, are strange.
Oh.
And she got up and she got up off the couch. She was sitting next to Granny. You know, Granny didn't know what was going on. And she got up in my face. Now we in the living room finna fight. I picked the lady out my house, but she still had my key. So then my boyfriend had to go run her down to get the key. And she was all upset and not trying to get. And he was like, I'm trying to be nice to you, ma'am.
Let me tell you, what sets me off is if you mess with children and elderly people. And specifically, like you said, with my mom, I know I won't do well in jail. I already know that. I wouldn't do well in jail. But if somebody mess with my people, when I talk about that snap, it's my mother. She became my baby. She became my baby
Yeah.
because I had to take
Yeah.
care of her. I had to help give her showers, and we would. I have to set up the bathroom. We would play music. We would, mainly the Preacher's Wife soundtrack. She loved Whitney
Oh,
and
nice.
Diana, so I'd have that.
Yeah.
I'd have to run the shower so the bathroom could be warm enough for her, just
Hmm.
like she would do when I was a kid. She prepared it, get her
Yeah.
bathed, wash her up, do the lotion her feet and her arms, and put on her little nightgown. All these things, I literally took care.
Hmm.
She became my baby, but it was the
Hmm.
love that she gave me that I was returning to her. But if she didn't get that care, if somebody talked to her crazy, if a nurse talked to her crazy, going to the her appointments, I'm snapping, and that's out of my character. But that was because of the love, and so listen, don't. Mm-mm, mm-mm. But I want to ask you, with the relationship with your mother, and now you have this beautiful baby Teagues. How did you? Because I think that is the problem. Parents have a dream for their child. We have a dream for ourselves. How do you then, because she isn't how you envisioned, or the relationship how you envisioned and dreamed about, how did you how were you able to let that dream go and just accept Teagues for who Teagues is?
Ah, so this is very hard because I think about this a lot actually. Because when you're just having random conversations with friends and just other people, and kids always come up, and
I know. I know, friend. It's okay. You're an amazing mother. And that's a testament that the counselor at her school said that look at your relationship. Look what you've done with this baby girl. Yes, she has her challenges, but Teagues, oh, Teagues runs the house. I hear
man,
her.
thing is a firecracker. Man, this
So
child,
I
I don't know where she
know.
came from.
But you love her deeply and still and have that connection and bond.
It is hard though because I can't. Nobody's having, first of all, kids are, my God, raising kids is so hard. Period.
Mm,
Um, but so everybody's experience is different, and I just keep, thinking about that. But that means that regular, normal, everyday conversations for you are not regular, normal, everyday conversations for me. So when can't even remember what was said, but when they sometimes like, "Yeah, so when T grows up and she's seeing you doing X, Y, Z, and I don't know if it was her seeing me do something or her doing something, like you said, what you envision for your children. But
yeah.
immediately in my head, I think I had to either fix my face or fix my answer or something because I'm like, I actually don't know that my daughter I don't know what she will understand.
Yeah.
Her understanding of the world is going to be different from you or I.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't sit here and talk about her future because I don't know. I don't I can't allow myself to think about um what she might think or whatever in the future of me seeing me off doing something because I don't know if that's gonna be a part of her capabilities. I don't know if when you have kids that are autistic, not even autistic, when you have kids that are nonverbal, you don't even know when they're gonna be able to say I love you. You
Yeah.
don't even know that they know what that means. You don't know anything. That's
Yeah.
what it is. You're literally living in the unknown every single day. And you just putting one foot in front of the other, trying to support them the best that you can, trying to not change them, because who am I to try to change you? Okay, God sent you to me. Okay, I'm the
Yes.
recipient. Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't even, because I'm a full believer, children just come through you.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really have, like, they got to come through certain people to get certain characteristics that they need in order to live their life here. But God gave you to me. God was giving away Tegans. And I got one. Okay, and don't nobody got one. Like, y'all ain't got no Tegan. I'm sorry for y'all. Because
That's right.
this girl, no, because she really is just like such a special little person.
Mm-hmm.
And she has so much personality for her to be nonverbal.
Yes.
Of like, she's so much personality. She's so, this girl she been crossing her legs since she was one, like my
Yes,
mother.
ma'am. Like a
She
lady.
sits like my mom.
Ain't
Because
that
mommy
crazy?
was a big leg crosser with her little skinny legs, and she would cross a leg here and cross a leg there. Even the
Yeah.
way Teague will like lay out on the couch when she just chilling is the same way mommy would lay out on the couch when she was chilling. Like, you have.
You're 5,
Like,
ma'am.
she has so much. Yeah. So that part of it is hard because you already, I think, have as a parent at some point have to release whatever you thought you wanted for your child, because it kind of doesn't matter. You're supposed to protect them and raise them and be their support system and advocate for them and get them to a point where they can be independent and live in the world. And for us, like autism moms, that independent part may or may not happen, you know? So it's a fine line you walk of like not trying to do everything for them because they have to try so that they can figure how to do it their way, and also not try to change them, but also let them know that in the house you are safe. You can unmask, you can film, you can do all the things. It's such a
Yes.
fine line, and it's like so many lines. And when we first found out, because Teague, we didn't know. Teague was born in March. So we were going to put her in daycare at 1 year. Because, I work for myself. So I make my own schedule. So the first year, having her at home, actually, it was pretty good because she could take a nap like a champ. She would take a 3-hour nap in the middle of the day. I would have scheduled all my calls for then. We had it worked out. And when she turned 1, we were putting her in daycare. COVID shut down Atlanta like 2 weeks after her first birthday. And we had a very high-risk household because we had Granny.
Yes.
Oh, so she was just at the house with like an old lady and me and her dad. So ain't no other kids, and she has cousins who are much older than her, but they still, at that point, were still kids. And so, but it was around the summer after she turned 2, so like a year and some change later, we were able to get her into daycare. And she did fine in daycare, but they did start telling us about some issues and stuff. And then when she went to the 2K classroom, all hell broke loose. And she got kicked out of daycare. She got kicked out because they couldn't support her needs. And also, a lot of people had not come back to work yet, but because of COVID, and teachers weren't coming back, so they didn't have the staff they used to have. And, when you have special needs kids, like in your group or in your classroom, then you have to have someone who can help you as well. So they didn't have that. So they really could not move along and work at a pace with the other kids and Teague.
Right.
So Teague had to leave. And we found out, hey, we should probably get her tested. We got her for autism. We got her tested in November, and we didn't get a result till March. That's how long it was taking to get diagnoses back during COVID. But when she got kicked out, I started trying to find therapies for her, because now all of a sudden it's like, oh, something's wrong. And then we had not got the diagnosis back yet, but she wasn't talking the way she should have. We woke up one morning while she was still in school and she had pulled all her hair out. And if anybody knows Teague, she has hair to her bottom. From her, when she turned 1, the day before she turned 1, that's when I had to do her hair like a woman for the first time. We had to detangle, we had to moisturize, we had to do all the things before she turned 1. And now her hair goes to her bottom. So the first 3 inches at the front of her head, she had pulled out. Because she was overstimulated. Now we know she was overstimulated. It was too much going on. And that happened at home, but it was while she was in school. So that was really one of the main things that plus her getting kicked out. So we found an excellent therapist, OT therapist, who she's still with today. That was just the first therapist we could get in the door because everybody had these long wait lists and they weren't letting people in.
Yeah.
Or they were like, we can do it virtually. It's like, oh, she's 2 and she doesn't.
2-year-old.
They be doing it though. So it just depends on the child. And for this to have been her first experience, it wasn't gonna work. A family friend introduced us or put us in contact with an OT therapist. We got in with her and we are still with her.
Yes.
Shout out to Miss Stephanie.
Yes, Miss Stephanie.
Yes, I mean, she saved our life because all this was happening at the same time that Granny was transitioning.
Mm-hmm.
That fall kicked my ass. And it was a whole lot at once. So anyway, that's how we found out and she got diagnosed. But yeah, it's a very hard thing, P. It's hard to talk to mom friends about it because I can't say they don't understand because again, raising kids.
Oh, God
I
bless.
cannot stress enough.
All the mamas out there.
Everybody has something different that they have to go through.
Yeah.
And so that's just our thing. And that was the age when we found, and that's what we're dealing with now. Who knows, everybody has to deal with different things. But I remember talking to my therapist last year and I was really upset because I also felt like who am I supposed to, who can commiserate with me or who will know what I mean when I say my child is eloping or when I still have to brush her teeth for her or, we're up in the middle of the night, gave her melatonin. She was up for 5 hours.
Yeah.
Overnight. We never went to bed that night. And then we just, next day, nothing. For 6 months straight, she was waking up overnight. And she had never, now they always will tell you, autistic kids they have problems sleeping. But she never had problems sleeping until that year. Top of the year last year and the end of the year before. For 6 months straight, she was up every single night. And when I say up, I mean up out the bed, in the kitchen, trying to watch TV. And then because the communication differences, it makes them more frustrated. So now it's just like anger being directed at you at 3 a.m.
From this little person.
From this tiny person. And then, but you also don't know what she needs because she can't tell you. So even now, to this day, I don't know when her stomach hurts. I don't know when she has a headache. I'm pulling from context clues here. And I'm praying that I've got the right idea. So it can be really, really tough. And sometimes you want to talk to people who at least you want to commiserate together. And so a therapist found me some Facebook groups and also in-person groups. Girl, I got in that Facebook group. It was so depressing. I was like, I can't do this every day because I asked for it. I wanted a group and I wanted in particular. I wanted to be Black moms because I can easily find a group and jump on in with white moms, I really wanted people who were having the exact experience as me. When I got in the group, I'm like, I actually can't take this in every day. That's how depressing every post after post after post after post. And then you find out that what's not said on the news, the local news, is like when you see, this child drowned or this child, a lot of them are autistic children. So you're just scrolling through posts and they're like, prayers for this child, and it's people in the group or it's local news, and I'm like, I can't look at this all day, every day. I'm going to go crazy. I'm already on the edge. It's bad. I was reading something on social one day, and they said there's a study that found that moms of kids on the spectrum, their brain exhibits the same sort of PTSD as soldiers on the front line. Like, come on. It's a lot, but it's the same as everything else, that we deal with. You have to get to a point where you're not trying to change it, because that's going to cause your suffering more. And you have to get to a place where you can move through life in, like we talked about last time, in surrender, right? You got to go with the flow. Whatever that flow is, the flow going to be rocky and windy, and sometimes it's going to last for years. But you got to just say, okay. You have to just say, okay. That don't mean every day going to be fine at all. And I'd be like, listen, God knows my abilities, my strengths, my characteristics. This is the best I got today. And God knows that. If this is the best I got, this is what I got. Yes. But yeah, it's just all, choose your hard,
You are a wonderful mother. I want you to sit in that. You are a wonderful mother.
Don't make me cry again, okay?
And
it's been a day.
T was sent to you to be her mother.
That's crazy.
That's your baby. And you two have a connection. And she's safe and she's healthy. She's getting the things that she needs. You're her advocate. And she knows that. I bet she might not understand what it is, but she knows what love is. And that's you.
I hope so.
And the work that you do with her.
And I do have to say, she does have a really great relationship with her dad, too.
And daddy.
We all live together, so it was a transition for everybody, and everybody takes things differently, but he does the best that he can for her, and they have such a good relationship. And I'm thankful for that too, because as I see from the group, it's a lot that people are out here dealing with. So it is crazy to think that God was like, she should go to you. It was like, okay,
you can handle
maybe
it.
one day we'll figure that one out. But yeah, man, I mean, you know what is crazy though? Me and Tegan were born at the same hospital, 36 years apart. And it is also the hospital where Mommy passed. Okay? And Granny didn't pass there, but that's where she was in the ICU before she went to hospice. So it's like that particular spot on earth is like a portal for the women in my family.
The generation.
Come in and out. Yes. Listen, we've gone a while today, so I'll save this story time for another episode, okay, as we do. But I will say this. I had a very high risk pregnancy because I was old, also 36. Apparently that's geriatric pregnancy. All right, let's not get into that. And I also, because of the state of Black maternal mortality, I think I phrased that right.
You did.
And because of the people that I knew that had passed in childbirth, and the people that I knew of that had passed in childbirth, I told my doctors that I was afraid of that. When I gave birth, I had 4 surgeons in the room. And one of my really close friends is a surgeon herself. And she said, you do know that's not normal. And I was like, well, 2 of them was my doctor. Like, one of them was really my doctor, but both of them are from the same practice. They came in together, and they had 2 other surgeons who were beneath them there. And everybody came and shook my hand, introduced themselves. And they already had blood in the room in case I was going to need a transfusion on the table. And I had fibroids, still have them actually. And I had to sign off on this thing saying that I was okay with them giving me a hysterectomy if it was needed for life-saving. Okay.
Yeah.
And just to be clear, I was like, okay, but that's after the baby come out, right? I'm just checking. 'Cause
Right.
I'm
Right.
signing up to like you
Let me
taking the
ask.
uterus, right? Like, it was just like the baby comes out and the uterus, everything coming out. I was like, okay, um, but they really covered me when I told my doctor was a Black woman, an AKA, as a matter of fact, and
I
it's their
guess.
Founders Day today,
I suppose
and
I'll let
yeah,
her.
I'm sorry,
Happy
P.
Founders Day to
I
the
didn't
ladies of Alpha
I,
Kappa Alpha
I didn't
Sorority
see no
Incorporated.
other deltas in there, but there was
Mm.
my doctor's AKA, and when that day when I told her my concerns, she's like, "Well, we've never lost anyone," and I was like, "Okay, I'm just telling you though, because I know of 2 women that have been lost. It wasn't due to y'all, but I'm just telling you, I'm coming into this. I'm already high risk, and I'm afraid. I'll tell you that. They covered me, Pete. All that to say, I had to go in. I gave birth on a Monday. I had to go in on a Friday to get my blood drawn and everything, so they could make sure they had the right blood for me on that Monday. The lady who drew my blood worked at the hospital when I was born.
Wow.
She was there. She was like, "Oh yeah, girl, I've been here since blah 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 blah." I said, "Since April, blah blah blah." She was like, "Yeah." I said, "So like April 21st, probably." Blah, blah. She was there the day I was born. Crazy. And then last
Wow.
thing for me, and again, we love to throw in some woo woo. That day when I was turning into the hospital to park, there was a man passing me in a long tan trench coat and like a beige like fisherman's hat. And he turned, and you know how you have to stop for people that are like crossing through the walkway. To
Yes.
stop and let the man pass. I remember it was raining, and that's why he had on the hat, because the other people had an umbrella. And he turned and looked at me. It was my grandfather. And so now I'm in the middle of the street, like, oh, because he was walking, and he turned and looked me dead in my face, and then he turned back around and kept walking across the street. And I said, damn, they'll show up. They want you to know we are here.
Show up.
We are with you. Yes. So
You're covered.
we
You're
are,
covered. Teagues is covered. And I bet you our hope for this podcast is to help other people. And I'm betting some of our listeners may be going through the same thing that you're going through. And maybe you can curate a village where you all can talk, but it's not so depressing like those Facebook groups or the groups that you've been in. You can curate it so that you all can share and get the information that you need and talk amongst each other and be that support system, but make it so that it's not so heavy and adding on to what you are already going through.
I will say, when you're going through things like, you kind of you do want to have a safe space so that it can come out however it comes out, which is actually why I'm still in the group and why I'm still in there, like supporting the ladies and commenting and liking posts and stuff. But it's just that I'm sure it's other people like me. It's like, okay, I can't be in here all day, every day, because I
Sure.
can't also take all that in. But I do want to show up as like a body to just support people, every now and again because sometimes you can't, in order for you to tell your story, right? Or in order for it to come out of you, it ought to just come out how it come out. It has to come out transparently or whatever. So but I felt so guilty. I felt so bad for not being able to take it all in, all day, every day after I had asked for it.
Moderation.
But that's all, that's exactly it. Thank you. That's exactly it. Moderation. And can I just add one last thing? Because this might be helpful for someone. And I don't know if there is anyone out there who is in a geriatric pregnancy. But I say that because I think our listeners are like in a certain age or whatever. But one thing that I did do, which my therapist actually told me to do, because I had these fears around giving birth and everything. She said, find a group of friends, like pick a group of friends and ask them to pray for you because I had a C-section because of the fibroid. So the day and time that I was giving birth was set in stone once we realized we couldn't shift her around. And she was like, ask them to pray for you at that day and at that time. And I remember I had to be at the hospital at 5:30. So, and they were supposed to get started at 7:30. So on the way to the hospital, I had a group of, I don't know, maybe 5 people, my closest friends. Because also they don't judge. First of all, I'm very woo-woo. So, but they don't judge me, okay? They just,
We love you for who you are.
okay. But I sent the group message to the little group of people, and just with, hey, can you just say these words at 7:30 a.m.? When I tell you that surgery was so smooth, that doctor lifted Teagues up like Lion King over the because they put the sheet up, so they lifted her over, and she said, "This is the most beautiful baby we gonna not give birth to, but whatever the word she said, this is the most beautiful baby we gonna have today." And we was the first one. I like, you just saying that. She's a cute baby though. This my baby.
Adorable.
She's a cute baby. And so all them doctors in the room, right? And I could hear them talking. So the main doctor was like, "This is way less blood than normal. Like there was no complication. There was way less. It was like I didn't even have surgery. They tried to discharge me early. I said, nah, I got to sit at the house for Granny. Give me my extra day, because these pancakes been real good for breakfast."
Yes.
I got home, and you know how people visit you. And they're like, the doctor's like, you don't drive for 2 weeks. So if you are in a car, you need to be in the back seat, so someone else drive you around, all this stuff. And people come to the house and they was like, "You said you had a C-section? Why are you up and walking?" And I was like, "Am I not supposed to be walking?" Like, I don't know how this works. In fact, this is the first time I've ever had any kind of surgery. So I was like, I don't know how this works. I don't know. Like, I didn't even have to take real pain medicine after like the second day. When I tell you, it went so smooth. And that prayer was just something, I'm sure I could find it, but it was just something like, just ask, it was very simple, but it was just like, ask God to cover us and cover Shonda, cover the baby. I can't remember, but I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it so you can see it.
Yes.
But yeah, I did do that, and that was my therapist's idea, and everybody was game. And
so find your village and pray. Prayer works. Prayer works. If you're a believer and you work and you come together and you say that word and speak over, and they spoke over you and Teagues, and y'all gonna be all right.
And just get you some good girlfriends.
Get you some good girlfriends.
Who believe, right? But also who believe in you and who are supportive of you, period. Whether they would make the same decisions as you or not, that doesn't matter, right? There's I believe all of us have certain, days and times throughout our life where we're going to need somebody. So, the older I get, especially not having a mom or literally no generation above me, the more I understand the value of just really good, having friends that are really good people. Meaning you don't got to be like them for them to be a friend to you. You know what I mean? You're going to need them. And I think sometimes people don't realize that till after stuff happens and they don't have anybody around because maybe things happened before. But I can tell there's such a value in my friend group. I don't know about y'all. So, but get you some good girlfriends. Get you some good girlfriends, because nobody was like, "Shauna, you're crazy to be so afraid."
No.
Nobody said none of that. They was like, "We up because we going to work.
And we're praying. And
they did. Because when I tell you, boom, 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 that's how you know. It was the most uneventful ass surgery ever, is what the doctor said.
Oh, prayer works. Just shout out to mamas. Mothers are amazing. Fathers too. But we all know that moms, is that connection. Some fathers, there's some good fathers. We're going to give the good fathers this shout out. But we know that connection and the nurturing, the full nurturing comes from the mothers. And no matter the age, we need our mothers. We're in our 40s and still need our mamas.
That's what it is. And you don't think
Still.
it's going to be that hard on you even to lose
Still.
that? It rocks you. Mother or father,
Still.
the parental dynamic, when it leaves, it rocks you because that is your foundation and your connection to this earth. It rocks you. And it's also different, though, just depending on when it happens, too, right? Because a lot of people lose their parents or one of their parents when they're kids. So there's that dynamic. But the older you get, it's a different dynamic, right? So.
And you still need them. And Teagues needs you, and you are here for her, and you're wonderful, and you're amazing.
Hey, don't you?
And
I've already cried. Thank you.
I can't wait for our listeners to contact and connect with us and be there for Shaun and Teagues, and we can build this community of these wonderful little people who will just have a different journey.
That's what it is.
Different journey. It's just different. But you're the mother that God chose for her, and you just keep loving her.
Yeah, I hope I'm doing okay. I'm trying. That's the best I can say.
You're doing your best.
At least we know I'm trying, girl.
You're doing your best. She's doing good.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you, friend.
Thanks, P. I appreciate it.
Proud of you. Shout out to all the mother figures as well. I'm not a mother. I've never birthed a child, but I am a mother.
Yeah. Yeah, P.
Cool auntie.
And P's who you want, too. Yeah, P. Yeah.
I'm the mother of the group. Always have been. I've always been.
Even in college. Some people just have I don't know what it is, but because you weren't out in the streets you weren't out in the streets gallivanting around and such. You had a good head on your shoulders. Okay,
I had to balance it out because I knew I wasn't coming home to my mama being kicked out of school. I could not go to Rita Gail and Christopher talking about I've been kicked out. No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Wait, your dad's name is Christopher?
Friend. Yes.
I just call him your dad. I didn't know his name was Christopher.
Chris, because when you was dating Chris, we were dating the Chris's in
college. Say, when you were dating Chris.
Yes, the Chris's. Yes, girl.
Again, another story for another day.
Another episode. Again, we're college roommates from way back in the day.
Way back. We got a lot of stories.
We have a lot of stories and looking forward to sharing more and more. But I think today was very purposeful and impactful. And that's our goal. That's what we want. That's what we want.
Yeah, man. Safe space for everybody around here.
Yes. Thank you. Well, until next time, we'll keep it going. We'll keep it juicy. You can reach me on Instagram at better3701. Shaun, where can they reach you?
They can reach me on Instagram or Threads at Hey Shaun the Head.
All right.
I'll be there.
And we'll see you next time.
Thanks, y'all.
Want to stay locked in with us so you never miss an episode? Visit everythinhaschangedpodcast.com and join our email list. That way you'll be the first to know about new episodes and all the fun stuff we have coming your way. Meet us over there.